All right, we're in round one. We have, unfortunately, a kind of slowish looking hand, but it'd be tough for me to cut or mull this because we're on the draw. We have a good amount of two drops, and we have like all of our most powerful cards that I feel like we can get to, especially with 17 lands. I'm gonna keep it. There's a slight risk with this hand, but I think it's good enough to keep. All right, the old rats. I mean, I feel like if I can stick and keep a Sunscorch Regent, I'm in pretty good shape. All right, so he's out of the gates pretty quick. Our two drops also don't look great against this. Shuyun's a fine draw, though. Shuyun into Honor's Reward's not bad either. I think Honor's Reward's going to be pretty important in this. Him not having a three drops also, or a third turn play, I should say, is also nice. So we go Shuyun here. If he's got removal, so be it. I'd rather see, well, I guess to be honest, I'd rather him not kill Shuyun. So if he attacks into it, yeah, we'll not block because Honor's Reward is pretty good with, pretty ridiculously good with Shuyun. If he attacks into it and I don't block, I would prefer if he did not leave up mana. So then that way I can like at least, you know, attack and guarantee I stick a Honor's Reward. All right. He had to flatten, but flatten would have killed Sunscorch Regent too, so it's not like the end of the world. I can also play Honor's Reward to gain 4 life. I'm kind of hoping I don't have to do that, but... All right. Charger's actually a fine draw. I'm definitely going to put this in front of a Goblin token if he attacks into it. I'd much rather him play a combat trick into this than, say, Sunscorch Regent, which I'm going to be slam dunking next turn. This card is our way to win the game. What's nice is this survives. It doesn't survive Bathe in Dragonfire, which is a bit of a bummer, and it doesn't survive Flatten, but it does survive like Draconic Roar, which is nice. Also doesn't survive Pyrotechnics. I mean, I should say it survives it eventually, but not right away. Also does not survive Reach of Shadows. Okay, Summit Prowler is acceptable. And no attacks is nice too. I would have blocked though. Maybe that's why he didn't attack. I don't want to trade a rats for a morph, so I guess I will take it. All right, we're gonna play Sunscorch Regent. Like I said, he has to have pretty specific removal for it. And even if he does, I guess I can follow up with Pristine Skywise. Could also play Elite Scale Guard here, which does become... No, I was going to say it becomes a 4/5, but that's not true. So let's just drop this the Sunscorch Regent. I think this is the time to do it. If he's got Reach of Shadows, so be it. If he has Bathe in Dragonfire, so be it. I think Sunscorch Regent is powerful enough where it could flip the outcome of this game. We are at least going to take, I think, 5 damage because of the Summit Prowler and Typhoid Rats, but we will be blocking at least a Goblin token. If Lose Calm happens, I probably just chump block the Summit Prowler and take 7, 8, I guess. So he did have the answer for it, which is unfortunate, but we at least get another good follow-up play. All right, so we're going to take some damage here, go to 8. So the problem with the Pristine Skywise play is I still don't have a good block for Summit Prowler. I could leave the Sandstorm Charger up to block the Summit Prowler, hoping he doesn't have any removal, and then I just take 3. If he does have removal, we only take 7. But am I prepared to take another 5 next turn? Not really. So kind of a difficult choice here. So I can leave up Morph Mana, Megamorph Mana, and have a 4/5. I feel like playing the Pristine Skywise really doesn't give me that much. It makes me have to take 4 damage again. I think I just leave up Megamorph and Honor's Reward. All right, so I think I'm going to have to 2-for-1 myself, but I think we're going to get the Summit Prowler. I don't really have a choice in the matter, I don't think. So I think I block Prowler, Honor's Reward. Gain 4, go to 12, take 8. Still be in pretty bad shape. So that didn't work out as well as I would have liked, but not much to be done. So I think we make the double play this turn. Go Soul Summons first. That's not the best one to flip. I could have done Scale Guard first and had a 4/5. Yeah, that probably would have been better, I guess. Because then I would have been able to more easily block his, what's his face, dude? Now I have to, like, make a slightly worse trade. My thinking on playing the Soul Summons first was if it was a good creature that I wanted to flip for some reason, but I don't know exactly what it could have been that I would have wanted to flip, I guess. I think that's game. Guess it's not game. No, it is game because of the trample. Okay. So it is game over. Game over, man. But opponent's deck was really good. He drew pretty well that game, so we've got a challenge ahead of us, but I don't think we're out of the water yet. I think we can put up some competition against this deck. I think we're going to bring in the Student of Ojutai to buy us some time. His deck seems pretty aggressive, so it's probably to our advantage to just play a bit more defensively. Like, I want the Student for the life gain. I kind of like that. Kind of like the Charger slightly less. Maybe I don't want to do the Rune Mark. Yeah. Let's go for the more defensive option against our opponent here. So that means cut like Rune Mark, probably. Let's cut. I kind of want to find a way to bring in Glint now that I just got Flat and Tail Slash. And is that all we saw? Maybe that's enough. Rite of Undoing is another option. Updraft Elemental. Resupply is actually not the worst, but it's probably not the best either. What's bad against my opponent? Certainly not Honor's Reward. That seems a bit too good. I mean, Great Teacher's Decree just seems a bit too overrunish to not run. Maybe just the student swap is adequate. Glint is like kind of what I want to do. I guess Pacifism doesn't seem all that good against him if he's just running like... Well, it's good on Summit Prowler though. All right. Even the Faithful doesn't seem that good. I guess it's like... It's not even that good. I guess Sandstorm Charger's not that good. Maybe I'd rather have the Updraft Elemental blocker to buy us time to our late game. That actually makes some sense to me. But it doesn't block a Summit Prowler. It does keep the tokens at bay pretty well. Otherwise, it's a Glint for protection, which isn't bad. But every time he killed my guy, I was tapped out. So he just perfectly pretty much tempoed us that way. I think I'm going to bring in the Updraft Elemental for a little more protection. All right, let's see how this plays. Yes, would like to play first. So if we don't draw white mana, we're in pretty big trouble. We do have a morph if I draw any land. If I draw white mana, this hand gets really good. I do have 10 sources of white mana. So basically it's like 33% chance. Not quite. It's like a 30% chance to draw white mana. That's tough. But like I said, if I draw any mana, I can at least like morph. That might be too slow of a start. On the play, this would be much better on the draw. Sandstep Outcast feels like it goes a long way in this match, though. I think I'm just going to hope to draw one of our 10 white sources. Like, my rule of thumb is typically if you have 9 or more things that you could draw on your opener hand that, like, helps it, that's usually an indication you should be able to keep. Yeah. Well, it worked out well this time, so that's nice. All right. Another white mana would not have hurt, but that's okay. I think we're likely following up with Sandcrafter Mage. Just to get a little bit of early beats going. Ooh, Monk's not bad either. And Outcast isn't bad. But I think we're going to go Mage. What I like about Mage is it gets to block tokens and we get into 3, so it kind of limits his options. He just basically has to take damage. He can't really attack back, and we get to attack in. I think we just swing. Let's just swing with 3/3. I think we follow up with Sandstep Outcast here. I don't mind actually following up with the Sunstriker, but I feel like I'm not going to immediately Megamorph if I have the mana. I'd rather Ojtai Summons. So let's just get an evasive beater online. We're going to do the Spirit creature token with flying, I think. I mean, I could make him a 3/2 so I can keep both the goblins back at bay. But what I like about this is I'm winning the race currently, so I'm not afraid of Forerunners. And if I draw land, I can do summons. Otherwise, I'm still staying busy with my mana. All right. So he's built himself a pretty good board too. This would be a great time for a land off the top, just to slam an Ojtai summons. But otherwise, I'll probably just, I guess, do the Sunstriker. Morphed. That's interesting with the tap out. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting actually. This might be a good opportunity to trade. I mean, he wants the trade, I guess. But his guy's going to get weaker if we crack back with everything. He Typhoid Rats blocks that. And then he doesn't really have good trades. But we go to 15, which puts him in a pretty good racing position, especially since he's the dash deck. I have to 2-for-1 myself to get a block that even trades. But if I crack back and he doesn't block, so I go to 15. Let's say he doesn't block. He takes 8. He goes to 6. He can crack back the next turn at the very least for 10. We'll be at 15, which means he only has to deal 5 more, which means like Rushing Warbrute could kill us, but that's assuming I don't have a play or a block, which I will. I think I'm going to take this. I feel like he wants the block there because, like I said, if he loses creatures, that guy gets weaker. All right, land there was actually good. Now I can do summons. So I think we just smash. He gets block there. I think I actually just swing here because now I have a blocker for Forerunners. This actually makes sense to me. We're going to smash here because otherwise it's too easy of a block here. This, being able to trade with the Forerunners feels better to me. I feel like this is the right attack. And then I go Ojtai Summons. That's interesting. So he wants to make his Forerunners a little bit weaker and take some extra damage too. It's not what I was expecting. So if he has Tail Lash, he can kill our Manifest, or any removal spell, I guess, for that matter. But he can't really swing with the other guys, like, too well. I guess I'm taking Typhoid Rats, but I can block Goblins. I have the blocker for Forerunners. Probably flattens is my guess, and then swings with Typhoid Rats and Forerunners, but that's not even that good for him. Oh, Warbringer Hardcast. Okay, so he wants his dash to be cheaper. So I'm trying to think if I can just get to the point where Sunstriker kills him next turn. If I draw land, I guess would be the best draw because then I can morph plus monk, which just gives me the best defensive option. I'm curious if he swings to the Forerunners. No swing. That's also interesting. Don't want to miss the rebound here, so let's make sure we cast that. draw our card. Shuyun, not too bad. So I can swing for 3 in the air, which I think I will be doing, and then follow up with just Sunstriker or Megamorph, because then that brings him to 6, which means as long as Sunstriker and one of our monks connects, we've got the victory. I think that makes sense to me. All right. Should still have the victory. He's got to have a pretty good removal spell here. Or even if he has a good dash play, we've got enough defense where I'm not too scared of dying. Could have Tail Slash, which I guess would be a bit of a concern. Reckless Imp. All right, well, looks like we just win then. Because Reckless Imp cannot block. So, all right, so now we just flip this guy. And we should have it. All right. Opponent's got a really nice aggressive deck. I do like that we have some life gain in the form of Regent and Honors Reward and Student of Ojutai. So we do have good life gain, which is very helpful. And the resupply is not necessary, I don't think. I do, I guess, take some issues with our expensive cards. Not the Regent. I mean, the Regent's not getting cut, but Pristine Skywise is one I'm actually considering cutting for something cheaper. Just because I feel like I have enough ways to win where playing 6 mana, 6/4. He's got he's got Flatten. He has Tail Lash. They're just such easy ways for him to take out my Pristine Skywise that it concerns me. I mean, Rite of Undoing actually has some good synergy, I guess, with like Sandstep Outcast and Sandcrafter Mage. It does. It's not bad. But it's probably not enough incentive to play it in my mind. So we're just straight up on the draw now. I still think Great Teacher's Decree is got to be powerful enough where I want to keep it in. I don't really like the Faithful that much in this match. I actually like Dramoka Warrior, even though we get trampled over by his Kolagon Forerunners. I guess it's bad against Dragon Fodder, though. Well, that's okay. Yeah, so I guess this question is still, do I want to cut Pristine Skywise? Will the Naga, I guess, isn't great against dashed creatures. It does, like, you know, turn off their attack for that turn, but overall it's not that great. Reducing stature isn't really that great in this matchup either. It's like too slow. Yeah, for some reason Pristine Skywise seems unattractive, especially on the draw. But otherwise I play like a Glint. I feel like it's going to be hard for me to leave up 2. Is that wrong? It probably shouldn't be hard for me to leave up 2 mana. And it's a good combat trick. I'm pretty tempted to try out Glint here and maybe cut the Skywise. Just lower the curve, get a little bit of protection, especially on the draw. I still have more than enough ways to win. I'm going to cut the Skywise. I don't know if it's right. I want to try out Glint in this match, though. I feel like having the protection as well as the combat trick option could be really good for us. All right. Well, we don't have a blue mana, but this still seems like a keep on the draw. Sunstriker and Honors Reward might be sexy, but we'll see. Any land, and I can play Sandcrafter Mage too. I think it's a keep. All right, Sandstep Outcast is actually a really nice draw. I mean, granted, I need another land to do something with it, but getting the token that can block the Typhoid Rats isn't bad. All right, so he's got a pretty aggressive start, which is worrisome, but we just need a land, and I think we're in pretty good shape. All right, did get the land. I still think we're going Outcast first, although Updraft Elemental's not bad either. But I think we're going Outcast first. That way I can play around a little bit of removal too, and I still get the blocker for Typhoid Rats, so I like it. All right, so he's going to have a post-combat play. We don't know what it is yet. Maybe just hardcast the Reckless Imp. Could do that, I guess. Wouldn't mind that. That's probably like the least intimidating. That's weird. So, okay, he just wants to keep dash. All right, that makes sense. Glint draw, not the worst. Let's play the Outcast. This way I have a blocker for Typhoid Rats and Smoldering Efreet. Definitely block. I mean, it's like half of a card for one card, so it's certainly a good trade for us. All right. Not the ideal draw. I probably just slam the Updraft Elemental and pass. This gives me blockers still for his plays. And I could have left up Honor's Reward, but didn't quite seem worth it. All right, Sure Shot's pretty good. Missing there is a bit of a bummer. I think we just Sandcrafter Mage. This way I can protect my Spirit from Sure Shot. If he has Dragon Fodder, I lose it, but I still think it's the right play. Could have attacked. Yeah, I guess I could have attacked. Maybe that would have been the wise move, but, well, I guess Dragon Fodder still kills our Spirit, though. Definitely want to land. If I can stick a Student of Ojutai, I think that would help tremendously. That's a big dude. One card left in our opponent's hand, so really we just need to draw some lands, and I think we've got a really good shot this game. That's not a land, though. A little bit more challenging now. Yeah. It's pretty challenging. Because now Honor's Reward has to either hit a Spirit or a Sandcrafter Mage, which means I still get 2 for 1. I might just have to accept the 2 for 1. Really don't want to. My only other play is Sunstriker, though. Just kind of an unexciting play. Considering how many more cards I have in my hand, I think I'm just going to 2-for-1 myself. So basically, I'm just going to honor. Yeah. God, well, I was going to say it's a 3-for-1, but it's more of like 2.5-for-1, which is really bad, but I think we might just have to accept it. So I leave up the glint at the very least for now. Could actually attempt to race. I could take 4 from Noxious Dragon, Honors Reward, Bolster, Crack Back, rip a land, set up for Wildenaga. That's not a bad idea. That's probably better than 2.5 for wanting myself. I mean, we'll see what he's got, but oof, that's rough. That's a real tough one, but what can you do? I mean, regardless, we're casting Honors Reward this turn. Oh, shit. Yeah. All right. Well, let's do it now so I don't lose the token. All right. So plan is, I think, just block there and take 6, which is pretty bad, but if we rip a land, I think we have a chance. Because then I at least can trade the spirit for the... Actually, yeah, I pretty much need to leave up glint so I can... All right. Well, missing land there's pretty big deal, but I can't do anything about it. So I guess we pass. Hope our opponent doesn't have removal, and I think we're just going to block Swift Workite. Or I guess if he attacks with Noxious Dragon, I can also glint the spirit to block the dragon. Oh yeah, that's a bummer too. Well, that's right. Well, I can't glint now, because then he won't attack. I'm losing Updraft Elemental anyway to the Noxious Dragon. He had another creature? Yeah, that one's pretty unfortunate. Not exactly sure what to do now. I'm in a pretty tough spot. I guess I have to glint to hold back his attacks. God, that's still so bad. I don't know what to do. I'm in a really bad spot here. I think I have to glint. I don't know what else to do. It's really bad, but This board state is horrific. I don't know what to do. If I don't do that, he just gets such a good value attack. Like, at least now he can't really attack with work height. Noxious Dragon can still get in. Oh, he is still swinging his work height. All right. Well, I think we're just doing this then. We'll take our 7. Guess I should have double blocked the Noxious Dragon there. Because he wouldn't have been able to... Yeah, that would have made more sense. Alright, did get the land. I think it might be a little bit too late. So I'm at least taking... I can block Reckless Imp. I'm taking 5. Well, I think we still got to go Student of Ojutai as our only means back in this game. Alright, I think that's game. I mean, I can count and find out, I guess, but I'm pretty sure that's game. So let's see. If I were to block Warbringer, let's say I block like this and this. I take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can't do that. If I block like this and then this, I take 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. I go to 1. It's the only way to live that I see. Alright. Guess, Will the Naga gains me life, turns off 2 attackers. I think I still die. I can go Will the Naga plus, alright, I think we play Sunstriker, and then we Will the Naga. So I'm going to be tapping Noxious Dragon, maybe Reckless Imp? Definitely Noxious Dragon. I can block Reckless Imp, but Warbringer's getting bounced. What are my blocks? My blocks, if I do Noxious Dragon and Warbringer, would be Reckless Imp, Sunstriker for the trade, Student of Ojutai, Smoldering Efreet, take 2. Or wait, Noxious, yeah. I think that's correct. I don't think there's any other way to block either. I think I have to do it like this to live, which is fine. That's pretty rough. But, I mean, I can't expect him to not have any plays. Well, we gotta cast summons and gain some life. I think we are officially dead, though. But, it's okay. Well, I guess we're not actually. Okay, so if he just has the Warbringer, I block Warbringer, chump Angler, take 2, go to 1. Guess I'm not dead if he doesn't have anything besides a Warbringer. I think we're dead now, but I feel like we put up a good fight considering the circumstances. I actually think we had a pretty good matchup against this guy. I mean, his deck was very good and he drew very well in game 3, but I feel like we actually we had a good matchup against this guy. Game 2 that we won, I felt very much in control pretty much the entire time, so not bad. I mean, basically the only things I can take, yeah, he's got 6 attackers to our 4 blockers. Oh, yeah, tail slash too. Okay. Well, that's definitely a game. But yeah, we put up a good fight considering he had a good start and we were missing land drops for a while. So I feel like we actually we didn't do too bad here. Put up a good fight. Just barely lost, honestly. I think if we'd drawn our lands, we had a pretty good shot at victory there. All right, we'll see you in round 2.